Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm looking good, don't you think? So I've had a pretty rough weekend. So I thought today I had different plans for this video. I had two different options, but I'll be filming them next. But today I'm doing a get ready with me because that's about as much energy as I have. Okay, maybe I should do my hair first. I don't have a brush here. Anyway, so today's going to be like quite a real get ready with me. Exactly how I would generally get ready. Today I don't actually have to get ready for anything, and on those days I do nothing. And I thought like maybe I just won't film this week and just kind of get through what I'm trying to get through. I think what I appreciate most about the YouTubers I watch, or the influencers I follow, is the fact that they're real and they let you into their lives, as uncomfortable and hard as it is. So I'm going to try do that today. I feel like I've got a lot of the crying out of my system, so I think now I might be normal. That's why my eyes are so puffy and I look as awful as I look. Okay, so I've just moisturized my face with this Isabella Garcia. I haven't done like toning or cleansing anything. I just like washed with water and whatever, because honestly I don't know who else is in the same boat as me, but until about 3-4 weeks ago I wasn't really doing like a skin routine. I'd maybe exfoliate like once a week if I felt like it. And for the last like 3-4 weeks I've been like cleansing most days and toning every day, moisturizing my skin day and night. I've also been using this like ultra advanced firming up gel from Isabella Garcia as well, because I've got a whole skin range from them. And I've been using nose strips, and like look at my nose, like can we just be real? Like it's obviously not helping. So I don't know, maybe it's all just like a complete scam, and people with good skin have good skin and people with bad skin have bad skin, like it's life. At my age I shouldn't have like breakouts like I do. And then you look at men who literally like wash with water and their skin's great. And I've seen someone speak about why men look younger than women, other than the fact that they're men and we have to live with them. Is that they shave, and apparently like that contributes to it. I wish I could remember who it was. I think it might have been on like Botched or something. Anyway, the lighting's also really bad today. I apologize. I'm filming at like 9 o'clock in the morning, so our sun's still like that side, not in this room, and the room that will be facing there doesn't have my setup, so I'm just going with it. I'm sure it'll start getting brighter eventually. So we got a Jack Russell less than 2 years ago. We got her in April 2017, and she was actually a puppy for my son. So I haven't really mentioned him before either, just because I feel like it wasn't necessary to share at the point that I was at. But anyway, I do have a son. He's 3 in February and he's my whole world. And also didn't want to be like pigeonholed into like single mom, whatever. So we got him this puppy, and at his little age that he was then, he chose the name Bella. So her name was Bella. She then obtained all these other names that we call her. So we used to call her Betty Bets and Bella Bets and whatever else. And she was just the most perfect dog. She was so good with Nathan from get-go. I remember the first day we collected her, she just loved him and she loved us and she followed us around from day one. She was just the best dog. When I got my first Jack Russell, I was 7. And then when I was 18, 19, we had to leave the home I'd grown up in my whole life, because we couldn't afford to live there anymore, and we landed up having to give my 2 dogs away. So I had the Jack Russell, and then we got a second dog when I was probably about 13, And she was supposed to be a Jack Russell Cross Fox Terrier, and she was not. She was like a Corgi Cross Alsatian, whatever, but she had the most beautiful nature as well. And they actually had to be separated where they went. There was no one that wanted two small dogs. But they're both still alive. So my first dog that I got when I was 7 is 16 years old, and she's still alive. So I haven't had to like lose a pet as an adult. This weekend at about 6 p.m. one night, I was busy making supper, and my son asked, "Where's Bella?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." The last time I'd seen her was about 4 p.m. or whatever, when we'd been outside. So I said, "Oh, I don't know, let's go call her." And I went outside, and generally you just call her and she comes, and she didn't. And I kept calling her, and eventually she came out, but like walking, like slinking towards us, like she'd done something wrong, you know, like her puppies have done something wrong. And I was like, "What's happened? What have you eaten? Like, what's wrong with you?" And she had a little bit of foam by her mouth, but nothing like major. But she just wasn't our dog. She was just obviously not feeling well. It was a Saturday, and it was now 6 p.m, 6:30 p.m. And where I live, there are no shops or vets or pharmacies or clinics or doctors or anything. I live in a very isolated area. So I started messaging. I have one contact that lives 45 minutes away from where we stay, and I messaged her group. She added me to on WhatsApp, so I messaged there and I said, like, what vets could I contact? Like, anywhere around here, I don't care to drive 3 hours. I got sent 2 different vet names and numbers, both about 2 to 3 hours drive away. And I was finishing supper for my son, and she just didn't look right. I decided to give her some activated charcoal in case she'd eaten like a frog or a lizard or bitten a frog, and we gave her an injection for tick bites, and we gave her exactly the right measurements, doses, and eventually this vet called me back. And now it was about 8:30, maybe later, and I'd put my son to bed, and he'd seen that his puppy, that he loves her so much, which was the hardest part, was seeing her sick and not knowing what's about to happen and how your son is going to have to handle this. Like, no one deserves to be heartbroken at the age of like almost 3. So I put him to bed, and this vet calls me back. So I told him exactly like the symptoms, because she was breathing heavily and clearly visibly uncomfortable, and she just wasn't herself. So I told her what we'd done. We checked her gums as well, because with biliary, which is from ticks, their gums go white, and we check all the dogs daily. We have 3 dogs, well, we have 2 now, but we check their gums daily, because of being on a farm where there's lots of like cattle around and that kind of stuff. You've just got to check your dogs, and it doesn't matter how much you treat them, it's still possible for ticks to get on them. So yeah, we did that, and her gums were definitely lighter, and because we check her gums every day, it was just a bit strange that they were so light now all of a sudden. And she'd been fine at 4 p.m. We'd been running around, she'd been fine. So I told him all of that, and he said everything we've done is by the book, and he said honestly the only thing we could do at the vet's rooms is put her on a drip, give her some anti-nausea medication, because she'd been dry heaving as well, nothing had come out, which is also like, had she actually eaten something bad? I said to him, well, would you be willing to open? I'm just going to put my base on because I'm looking at my nose and I can't concentrate. So I said, would you be willing to see us? And he said, yes, if it's what you want. He said, like, you can come through. So I said, let me just go, I'll take her. Like, you stay here with Nathan and I'll take her. And he said, it's about 3 hours away. The area is called Mfunzini. So I said, okay, well, like, whatever, like, I'll take it, it's fine. And he just said that the weather was really, really bad. And he said, like, if she's going to make it to the morning, then that's fine. And I just, like, I battled to fathom that, because I'm a very, like, guilt-ridden person. I feel guilty about everything. And I just felt like I needed to do more than we were doing. And he also told us to give her glucose or syrup water. So we were doing that too. I was basically warned not to drive there. It was more dangerous than it was going to be good. And this was about 10 o'clock at night now, where I was trying to just do anything I possibly could. At 11, it was about 7 minutes past 11, she passed away. And those last moments, whoever's experienced losing an animal, are really, really hard. I just prayed a lot for her not to suffer, and maybe that was God letting her not suffer. Because maybe if we had saved her, maybe it would have just prolonged the pain that she was in. We still don't know what the cause was. We don't know if it was biliary, if it was poison, if it was a snake bite. But we didn't see any bite marks on her, and she wasn't wincing when we touched anywhere, because I was wrapping her in blankets because she was cold and holding her and whatever, and she wasn't wincing, but it might have been because there was so much else going on. So that was the weekend. I cried for 2 days straight, and I'm not going to cry anymore. When my son woke up, he was awake for about 5 minutes and asked, "Where's Betty?" And we had to explain that she was gone. But you get told not to say she's gone here or gone there, like she can come back. You have to tell them she's gone. So I said, God's taken her, he's given her wings. And she's going to find you a new best friend, and she loves you. But she can't come back. She needs to be with her dog family. So he does still ask after her a lot, but it's only been 2 days. So he's going to. They were best friends. He slept with her, ate with her, ran around with her, and she was just such a tolerant dog for him. And she had these beautiful, like, hazel eyes. She had the most beautiful eyes. Anyway, so that's my story. Wow, I'm like very low energy, not able to like film anything that's too bubbly, and I wanted to be real with the people that watch my videos, because I appreciate that from the people I watch, as much as I'm now realizing how uncomfortable it is to be like vulnerable and open. I also want to do a video today because I'm going to Durban this weekend to see my cousin and my nephews. I call them my nephews. I know that's a sibling, but I don't have siblings. I'm an only child, so they're my nephews. And they're twins and they're adorable. So I'm going to go there. And we also, with the storm we've had out here, we don't have internet connection, and we didn't have electricity for 2 days. So it's been fun. I don't know if I should mention this, but I don't deal with death. I avoid it. I step away and I disappear. So I've never cried over anyone that's died around me, like family or friends, or friends' family or whatever. And I've had a lot of people that were very close to me pass away, and I've just refused to deal with it. I've never attended a funeral. Guess it would make it real for me then. So this has been probably the closest I've been to experience a family member dying, to allow myself to experience it. And I refused to go to sleep. I wanted to sit with her. I wanted to be with her, because my mom has been very sickly my whole life, and she's always said to me when she's been really ill, she's always asked me to come sit with her and put a light on, because you don't want to die alone. Like, you don't want to die alone in the dark with like no comfort, and just no. So I wanted to be with her. And that is my story. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit lengthy, but I just felt this was something I wanted to share with everyone, to give everyone a little bit of insight into me and my life. So I put on my Infallible foundation. It's not full coverage, it's like probably medium coverage. It's in the shade 125 because I'm pretty pale. I used to use 120 and I have convinced myself I will get a tan this summer. So I'm using 125. Okay, so my next product I'm going to use is my Wet n Wild Photo Focus. There's the Wet n Wild. I don't even know if it's backwards. My eyes, I actually can't see out my eyes today, so just bear with me. I could see the red dot on my nose though very clearly. But light ivory. And then we just blend that in. I use my concealer as an eyeshadow base as well, just because I don't have a primer. So yeah, I'm going to Durban this weekend and I'm hoping I'm going to see what I can do. I'm hoping to visit my dogs that I used to have. I haven't seen them just because right in the beginning I thought it would be harder for them. They wouldn't understand why I'd come back and I'm leaving again. I want to see them because the one is quite old, and I think grief makes you realize other things that you aren't doing or haven't done enough of. So I don't want to live with regrets anymore. I want to do everything I can so that I know I've done everything I can. So I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild contour stick. It's in light medium as far as I remember. Yeah. I'm just laying the light colour in certain parts as well because I did put concealer, but I feel like this is a bit more brightening. Anyway, on the topic of skin routine and stuff, I also don't know if I'm just battling with my skin because I've changed of diet, because it's been Christmas season, or stress, or lack of exercise, or because our water here is like very questionable. I don't know. So I'm not bashing skincare products. I'm just saying like my skin's been a lot worse lately. I'm going to dip into my Glam Bronze Studio, which is like really cheap makeup. So I'm just going to bronze a tiny bit because like daily I wouldn't actually bronze because I don't use a lot of bronzer generally because I'm really pale. So it's quite obvious that I'm pale, I can't hide it. I'll go in with a little bit of highlighter and blush, even though I know my products are awful. I am actually collecting some of my makeup orders this weekend. This powder brush for the blush. If you haven't watched my Crown brush makeup review, those are the brushes that I'm using. They're new. I'm still learning to like blush. I put my little bit of highlighter. This is also a Glam like palette. Okay, so that's the complexion makeup done. And now I'm going to do a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm doing like a very basic eyeshadow because this is a get ready with me, and when I get ready I don't even put on makeup. So we're going to go in. I'm just going to lay down a transition shade, so I'm going to use the second one of my Rimmel Magnifies Spice edition. We're just going to put that in, well, all over the lid and a little bit up towards the brow bone. I'm going to put it underneath on my under, you know what I mean, this part, because I don't think I'm going to be doing a dramatic eye today, because that would just be dangerous and a waste of product. It's good to have a transition shade on your under eyelid too, which was something I never used to do. I used to just pick the colour that I thought was like the most prominent on the top and kind of put it on the bottom. So I'm learning. I think I'll use this colour here. I don't know if this came with like a overleaf that told you the colour names, but I don't think so. I'm just going to put that into the crease. I also think it's good to have a outlet with grief. Like I used to write a lot. That was my thing. From about grade 3 I had diaries, and they used to like, when they were done, like sit like this because they were so full. So I'm going to see if this is something that's therapeutic for me, being able to talk about it. Because you can talk to people, but everyone has their own problems and only has so much time that they can dedicate to you. At least that's my experience in life. So with animals it's just different. Like If I watch a movie where a person dies, I'm like, okay. If I watch a movie where an animal dies, I'm like heartbroken for a few days. So I think I should stop talking, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to dip into, should we do a little bit of shimmer? This one over here, it's not quite the right, but it is a bit shimmery. So let's use this, and I'm just going to put it in the like outer V of my eye. So I'm going to go into my Wet n Wild palette. Rose in the Air, I use this a lot for anyone that has watched my videos. I'm going to go in with this light gold just into the inner corner of my eyes. Okay, and then at the bottom I'm going to go back in with that same burnt. No, it's like a brownie. I don't know. Go in with that. I'm just going to go underneath. And then I'm going to go into the center with that gold on the lower lash line. There we go. I remembered the word, guys. Lower lash line. Clap for me. I'm also just actually going to dip into this like taupey color and just blend out the tops of my makeup because it's not blended perfectly. Actually, no. I'm going to go into the lighter one. This one here. Just blend out the tops. Guys, I didn't do my eyebrows. Why did no one tell me I didn't do my eyebrows? Okay. All I do is I use like a shadow and I use spoolie, the brush, an angled brush, and I just do a little bit of underlining and filling it, and that's it. About a month ago it would have been pretty accurate for me not to do my eyebrows, but I realize when you put makeup on the rest of your face, it looks a bit weird when you don't have makeup on your eyebrows. So I'm just going to go in with my Essence mascara. I love Extreme. I've got one that is waterproof and then this one which isn't. I should probably wear the waterproof one. But I don't feel like getting up and finding it. So here we are. That's that. I usually do this like in a moving vehicle. If there's any videos you guys would really like to see, please tell me. I live in South Africa, so there might be South Africans watching this that have seen American or UK or Canadian videos and you're just like, oh, well, what's the like alternative in South Africa? Or I wish I could see the sizing in South African sizing on a South African person or whatever. Please guys, if there's anything you want to see, anything that you want to comment on about my videos, anything you'd like me to change, please tell me and I'll do that. I'm just going to put a nude lip on. Is it nude? Oh, it's shade 07. It's Essence. It's Undress My Lips. So I feel like that sounds like nude. I'm going to put that on. I definitely need to purchase some more lip liners. So guys, I'm sorry about the lighting today. The sun is just like dropped down to where it should be and I'm finished. So thank you so much for everyone that did watch this. I think it might be a bit of a lengthy video, but I just wanted to let you know what's happening in my life. Guess what? I brought this to wear while I got ready. Let me do this because this is what people that do makeup do. So I'm going to spray my illuminating setting spray Glow to Go because who doesn't want to be shiny? I've actually ordered a new setting spray that I'm super excited about, so I'll link my Crown Brushes review at the end of this video. It will probably be showing up already. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
I'm just enough to make you smile, and you need me to hold